Hello, my name is Jennifer and I am manic depressive. This is a very difficult video for me to film because I don't go around telling people that I have a mental illness, and here I am confessing to the world on YouTube. But there's a reason behind that. I've lived with this for my whole life. You're born with manic depressive, it's also called bipolar. It's not something you develop over time. You have it or you don't. Just like I was born with this skin color, I was born with these eyes. I didn't get a choice in the matter. There is no cure for it. There's only treatment. All right, so I never went around telling people that I have this, and I was actually quite ashamed of it my whole life because I knew that there was a stigma against people with mental illness. Most people just don't understand it. They don't know too much about it. And a lot of people who have manic depressive were really portrayed as like these scary people, or we're crazy and, you know, just awful things. And I never wanted anyone's pity, and I never wanted anyone to sort of change their opinion on me. I wanted you to like me for me or hate me for me or whatever it is. I didn't want to be labeled as, you know, damaged or, you know, whatever. Most people that suffer with this, and I do say suffer because it isn't easy. I think it's like 60% or something. I don't know the statistic, that they do turn to drugs and alcohol to deal with it. I feel very fortunate that I've always been an artist, and that has sort of helped me manage and deal with my emotions and suffering with this awful thing. I would not wish this upon anyone. Nobody. Even if I hate you, I don't hate you that much. Yeah. So why am I, I guess you could say, coming clean online? Well, I've been watching a lot of videos about Carrie Fisher, and particularly her interviews, and I loved her growing up. You know, she was in Star Wars, she was Princess Leia, and I idolized that character, as I'm sure most of you do. And after she had passed, I started watching videos. It wasn't that long ago that she died, and getting to know who she was through the videos, and particularly interviews. She was so outspoken about being someone who lived as a manic depressive. And she made humor of it, she made light, and she basically said, you know, it takes bravery and it takes balls to, or as she said, the female equivalent, to really survive this. And, you know, I don't want to be someone who feels like they're a victim, or feels like I want to contribute to the conversation, because there is such a stigma, and if we've had more people that were vocal about it, that you actually knew, people that you knew who were going through these things, and realize that, you know, they're not these demons, they're not, you know, these scary people you need to live in fear of. Coffee. So I want to contribute to this conversation, and I want to hopefully help people who are living with people that are dealing with this and struggling with this, and how you can help them, how you need to be aware of what's going on. And if you are like me, you're born this way, that there is hope for hopefully living normal life. So if you are going through life as a manic depressive, I would like to share my stories with you and just to let you know that you're not alone, and that I'm pretty sure that there are people in my life who have illnesses and they're not coming forward and they're not talking, because we all want to be that brave, strong, powerful, awesome person, you know. And I think there's a lot of that, you know, especially on social media. And we all have issues, and I want to be real about mine, and I want to lay my cards on the table and be honest, because you're only as sick as your secrets. Okay. All right, so manic depressive. What is it? It's a mood disorder. There are two phases in your mood disorder. There is the mania and there is the depressive. So when you're in a manic swing, you are high up here. So not necessarily happy, but you're lifted. You feel like you can do anything. It's almost to the point where it's ridiculous. And you may not sleep that much. I get maybe 2 to 4 hours of sleep a night when I'm in a manic swing. You don't eat as much. You don't feel like anything can hold you back. It's almost like you can conquer the world. And most manics will tell you this. They love being in that swing. However, there are downsides to it. The racing thoughts. The racing thoughts that won't shut the hell up. It's a constant, like almost like a railroad, like a train just kind of going by, and the train never ends. It just keeps going and going, and you have these thoughts that lead into another thought and another thought. There's always a feeling of like a rushed speech. And I've noticed that in some of my videos that I do when it's like you can't even take a breath. You just keep going and you're going and you're going, and it's like jumping around. That's mania. And really it gets to a point where it's so powerful, these thoughts, and staying up all the time. You get to a point where you almost feel like you're gonna die. Like your brain is literally just completely overloaded and you're gonna explode. Awful. You're also get irritated really quick. Super quick. The slightest thing will make you like want to blow up at someone. So those are some of the elements of mania. Depressive is the complete opposite. You have no desire to do anything, no interest. Anything that had brought you some sort of a happiness or that you enjoyed to do, you took pleasure in, is gone. You know, you don't want to get up in the morning. You sleep a lot. When I'm in my depressive state, I usually need to sleep during the day and just, you know, for hours. Or I go to bed super early so I can get extra sleep. What else? Eating habits. Definitely want to eat more. And there's also that feeling of hopelessness, feeling that nothing's ever going to be good, nothing's ever going to be right, you'll never get out of it, there's no light at the end of the tunnel, and there's nothing that anyone can say. Please, if you know someone who's going through this, do not tell them, be grateful for what you have, or snap out of it, or your life is so good and blah, 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 blah. It is the most... It's like, it's condescending almost, because you're assuming that this person isn't grateful for their life. And we are. Like, I know all the good things in my life, and I don't need you to tell me that, because it's not going to make me feel better. We have a chemical imbalance in our brain that cannot be rationalized. Cannot be rationalized. So take those words and just throw them out. Ugh. Pisses me off. Yeah. So you can also get so low and so deep that you will have thoughts of suicide. They're very likely to have suicide attempts. These are your sides, and then they cycle. Never-ending roller coaster. So yeah. Get some more coffee. So as someone who lives with this, day-to-day life and relationships and everything is very difficult. It It affects your relationships with people. It affects your relationship with your job. I'm right now in probably one of the lowest depressions that I've been in, and it's been for quite a few months. And I have gone untreated for a long time. I was diagnosed when I was about 22. And then I was in treatment. I did go under, medication. I was seeing a doctor. Fast forward till now, no, I have not been in treatment, and I need to. And I'm in the process of seeing a doctor. And hopefully, I'm really hesitant about going on medication because I wasn't crazy about my experience in the past. But I can no longer function anymore. It has gotten to the point where my work has been greatly affected. I have a business. I do freelance. I'm an artist. And when you have no motivation to get out of bed, even though there's work to do, and you don't do it, you're going to lose business. And clients will get annoyed. So I've been really struggling to kind of stay on top of things and really sort of pushing myself, praying for a manic away. I wanted to make this video to kind of talk a little bit about what is manic depressive. It's a mood disorder. It's something that, people are going to live with for the rest of their life, and it doesn't make someone a bad person. It makes someone maybe a badass person. You try living like this and seeing how you can cope. Most people who do suffer with this wind up turning to drugs and alcohol. They can't cope. And perhaps there's no one there to help them. And, maybe you can be that person to reach out and help your friend. I'm also a proud person, and the way that I was raised, it was like, it's you. You have to take on the world. And for me to admit that I have a problem, that I need help, is very difficult. So, please reach out to people who you know are suffering. Family, friends, all of them. Be a support. Don't be an ass. Don't think you know everything. Go do your research. Alright. I said what I had to say. And it's getting weird now and awkward, so I'm going to end this video now. If you have comments or questions, you can go ahead and drop them down below. Make sure to subscribe and like, and I will see you in a future video. Bye, guys.